Dear students, in this session we will discuss determination of equilibrium level of income and output in a four-sector economy, taking into account the fact that the nation has trade relations with the rest of the world. And all else being equal, domestic economy's income and output will increase as gross export rise or gross import fall. Because if gross export increase and gross import decrease, net export will increase, and it is a component of aggregate expenditure. And in the Keynesian theory, aggregate income or aggregate supply depends on aggregate demand. Similarly, income and output will decrease as gross export decreases and gross import increases, because there is a decrease in net export. Naturally, there is a reduction in aggregate expenditure. So it follows that the effect of exports and imports on equilibrium level of income and output, the effect of exports and imports on equilibrium level of an economy's output and income must be found in factors that determines exports and imports. So we have to consider factors that determines exports and imports in order to understand how equilibrium level of income and output is determined in a four-sector economy. Now, in a very general way, an economy's exports depends on 5 factors. 1. Price of the commodity in the domestic economy relative to the price of the same commodity in the foreign countries. Domestic price versus price in the foreign countries. The second is tariff and other trade policies. Tariff and other trade policies of the nation with the rest of the world. The third one is level of income in the foreign countries. Level of income in the foreign countries. The fourth one is level of imports by the domestic economy. Level of imports and other factors. So gross exports depends on these factors. Now, some of the important factors determining the exports are not directly related to conditions existing in the domestic economy, because many factors affecting exports, especially for example income in foreign countries, and many other factors are not directly related to the conditions existing in the domestic economy. Now, although a great simplification, we assume that gross exports are determined by additional factors, or we assume that exports are autonomous. It is a simplification, but we assume that exports are autonomous. Volume of imports is also determined by similar set of factors. But many of these factors are closely related to conditions within the economy rather than foreign economies. Imports also depends on similar set of factors, but many of the factors are determined by conditions existing in the domestic economy. And we assume that all these factors other than domestic income is kept constant. So we assume that imports are determined by domestic factors, prices, tariff, exports, and all the other factors are held constant. All else being equal, as income increases, there will be an increase in domestic spending. So as a result, a part of the increased domestic spending will be on imports. So we assume that imports is positively related to income. As income of the domestic economy increases, spending increases on both the domestically produced goods and services and foreign produced goods and services. Naturally, we assume that imports is equal to MA plus MY. Imports is linearly related to income, where MA is autonomous expenditure on imports and M is marginal propensity to import, delta M by delta Y. Now this can be expressed in the form of a graph. X and M here. We assume that exports are independent of the level of income and imports M is an increasing function of the level of income with this is MA and this is marginal propensity to import. So exports are assumed to be autonomous. Imports are functions of domestic income only. All the other factors are held constant. Now, in a four-sector economy, the equilibrium level of income is that at which aggregate spending, that is the sum of consumption, investment, government and net exports is equal to income. So we write condition for equilibrium level of income in a four-sector economy as again aggregate supply is equal to aggregate demand, Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. C plus I plus G plus X minus M. And using the second condition for equilibrium, C plus S plus T is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. We can write the equilibrium as C plus S plus T is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M, or S plus T is equal to I plus G plus X minus M, or simply S plus T plus M is equal to I plus G plus X. S plus T plus M is equal to I plus G plus X. And what is this S plus T plus M? It is the portion of economy's output diverted from consumption as savings, taxes and expenditure on imports. And what is this I plus G plus X? It is I plus G plus X plus S plus T plus M can be considered as leakages from the income flow. I plus G plus X is injections to the income flow. So equilibrium requires that leakages is equal to injections. So to find out the equilibrium level of income, we substitute the values. Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus MA plus My. We substitute the value of M, or S plus T plus MA plus My is equal to I plus G plus X. I plus G plus X. Now, in a four-sector economy, C is equal to A minus BT plus BY, M is equal to MA plus MY, X is autonomous, X is assumed to be autonomous, I is equal to I bar, G is equal to G bar. Now we substitute the values in the equation. Y is equal to A minus B into, A minus B into Y minus T plus I plus G plus X minus MA plus My is equal to A plus By minus Bt plus I plus G plus X minus MA minus My minus MA minus My. And collecting the terms of Y, you will get Y into 1 minus B plus M, or Y is equal to 1 by 1 minus B plus M into A minus Bt plus I plus G plus X minus Ma. So in the form of an equation, equilibrium level of income is determined by 1 by 1 minus B plus M into A minus Bt plus I plus G plus X minus Ma. And this multiplier 1 by 1 minus B plus M is known as the foreign trade multiplier. 1 by 1 minus B plus M is known as the foreign trade multiplier. And as you can see, the value of the foreign trade multiplier is less than the ordinary multiplier 1 minus B. 1 minus B. The reason we will see. So this is equilibrium level of income in a four-sector economy. All the terms inside the bracket are autonomous components. A, T, I, G, X, M, A. So if there is a change in any of these autonomous components, then equilibrium level of income will change. And as you can see, the effect of A, I, G and X are same. Of T is different in sign and less than that. Here MA different in sign but equal in magnitude to A, I, G and X. Now let us see this graphically. How this equilibrium level of income is determined graphically. Now, Now, 45-degree line, 45-degree line, C. Now C is equal to A plus B y minus t. Income tax is not considered here. We consider in this model a head tax C. And this is C plus I. And this is C plus I plus G. Now, C plus I plus G plus x minus m is this. Here x is equal to m. Now the point is, at low levels of income, export is greater than imports. But as the level of income increases, export becomes equal to import. Beyond that, import exceeds exports. So, equilibrium level of income is at y0, a little lower than the case of an open economy. A little lower than the case of an open economy. This is because it is assumed in the model that exports is autonomous, but import is a function of income. So, as gross exports are assumed to be autonomous, but gross imports are functions of income, after a level m exceeds x. That is why we have this situation. So, y0. In terms of saving investment equality, I, and as we have written earlier, equilibrium can also be specified as I plus G plus x is equal to S plus T plus M. Total leakages is equal to total injections to the income flow. Now, I plus G, I plus G plus X, I plus G plus X, all are autonomous components. Then S plus T, and here S plus T plus M. S plus T plus M is equal to I plus G plus X in terms of saving investment equality. That is what is shown in part B of the figure. So, this is equilibrium level of income and output determination in a four-sector economy consisting of business firms, government, consumers or households, and foreign sector. This is a very simple model. It is based on many simplifying assumptions.